Hello there guys, Happy New Year to you all, and I hope it's going to be an amazing one, because we already know it's going to be an amazing one for Torpid this year, let me tell you. Though I think 2024 is going to be a little bit better, you know, market things. Anyway guys, a little bit of an update here before we start today's cast. So we're into the new year. Just a heads up that I am a little bit bunged up at the moment, so the next few casts that are going to come out over the next maybe 2 weeks or so, probably not going to be great. There's going to be maybe another 2 weeks worth of casts from the old patch, and we've got the new release is out now. I can show you that over here. We've got 2.9.8.4, so it just came out on the 3rd. Not too many balance changes, to be honest. There's some cool things here though. In fact, I actually think there's a lot more cool non-balanced things than balanced things. Where is it in here? We've got, so you got a new map. I think there is some work to be done with regards to this map. One of the interesting things was new game modes. Where are they? Oh, this is one of the biggest things. New voice lines have been added to the Brocap, Terminator Librarian, blah blah blah. All these units here, you can see. Here we go. New game modes. So, nothing too crazy to be honest with you, but just something to spice it up, and I think these are very much work in progress as well, so basically you put it on Annihilate, and you can play massive battles, which is 500 pop. In fact, it doesn't even have to be on Annihilate, you can do it on either. Massive battles is just a maximum pop of 500 rather than 100, so that's in-game, inbuilt into the Elite mod now, so you don't need a separate mod if you want to do AI skirmishes with 500 max pop. You can just do that yourself. And there's a new game mode called Hero Assault, which works perfectly fine at the moment against AI, but unfortunately its implementation for the PvP isn't done yet. So what that game mode is, you get all 3 of your faction's heroes, not 1 like normal, but you only have a maximum of 45 pop. So it's more of a PvP game mode focused on the hero gameplay. You've got a couple of balance changes as well. You can see them here, you can read through yourself. There's nothing like crazy big, but there are auto malleus buffs. Now that's the other thing that I wanted to talk about here, not the buffs themselves, but there's an event coming up in a couple of days, literally 2 days time, and I am going to be coming out of retirement and yeah, gonna play some auto malleus. So this is a league style faction war, so it's not a one-off event, you know, just where you play a tournament on a Saturday, you lose, you get eliminated. No, it's not like that. So which is actually better for me, because I'm not really good at 1 day, or definitely can't do 2-day tournaments, because it's hard to fit them into the schedule. So how this works, you need 1 day of availability, and that's on the finals, which is on the 28th of January, okay? Now that's the playoffs, and you sign up for it. You choose one of the 7 factions, and that's the only thing that you can play. If you win a match, you can no longer play that hero. So for the best of 3, which is what most of these matches are, you have to win with 2 of the heroes in your faction, but if you get to the end and you play the best of 5, you actually have to win with all 3 of your faction's heroes in order to take the tournament. But normally it's a group stage, so the group stage is going to last for 3 weeks, where you organise yourself the matches with your opponents whenever you guys are both available. So you end up getting these epic faction wars where, you know, you're fighting the same matchup over and over against different players, and I think that's really cool. Obviously it's a little bit less try-hard than usual for the tournaments, and you know, literally I'm coming out of retirement guys. I haven't played this game period in well over 6 months, and I haven't played in any competitive manner in about 2 years, so don't expect me to win, but I'm going to give it a go. And that should link in with some future content as well. So there you have it, that's the update. And I'm going to sneeze now. Am I? I don't know. No, I'm not. Okay. Yeah, recovering from winter illness things as well. Very unfortunate. But this should be pretty interesting. Now, one thing, the reason why I'm telling you guys, not only is that going to mean more content for me, but the tournament has an A div and a B div. So the whole point of B div is it's a tournament where you don't necessarily fight the best players. It's for lower tier players. Now, it's not a noob tournament, Div B. You're still going to have some really good players, but you might as well sign up. There's no entry cost. It's a silly faction tournament. You know, whichever faction you enjoy playing, pick it, sign up. And the thing is, you can get a lot out of these tournaments being a group league system, even if you don't win the tournament, because it's not like a normal tournament where you get seeded and because you're new to the scene, you get seeded against the best player, you get knocked out in round 1. Oh, well that's it, you freed your Saturday for a tournament and you just got knocked out round 1. Well, that's boring. No, it doesn't matter. Even if you go up against the best player who ends up winning the tournament in your first set of matches, who cares? You play the whole group anyway, and then whoever has the most points, maybe, I don't know how many it's going to be exactly. Well, it says here actually, after that, bottom 10 players drop out, top 8 are seeded into the final bracket. So the motivation to do well in the group stages is you get a better seed for the playoffs, which is more like a traditional single elimination tournament. But so the whole point of this is, you sign up for this, if you lose, doesn't matter. You just get the experience playing a competitive format, even though it's kind of weird because you're only using one faction. But still, that's a nice way to introduce yourself, and you're going to be facing a wide array of players. You'll fight the best players in the group, and you'll fight the worst players in the group. See how you do. Why not? Sign up on the forum. The link is going to be in the description for this video. Thank you very much, folks. On to the cast, I suppose. Hello there. Okay, we got Calderis Desert, Life, playing the Chaos Sorcerer versus Hakuna Matata, which I believe is Kickin, playing as his Warlock. Don't know when this got sent in, fucking ages ago, but you know, we're finally getting around to it. Got that bunged up voice, we'll see how things go. Hopefully not too bad. It is a disgustingly long replay, so that's probably not going to help, but you know, we'll live with it. God, this fucking map's so ugly, don't you think? There's just nothing going on. It's like worse than Tatooine.
Your units fulfill your command.
Nothing too exceptional so far. Guardian's always taking the garrison over here, so frustrating. Scouts as well. Not much you can do with it. I mean, talk about ugly. Interesting window in this garrison here. It's just shoving his body in the sand. I've never noticed that before somehow. Okay, Warlock's doing his disruption. Could potentially get a nice destructor. Not wasting it yet. Biding his time. Doombolts kind of fails from the Chaos Sorcerer. Well, in fact, he totally fails. Jeez, didn't do anything to the Guardians. Doesn't appear. Destructor went in there, but didn't seem to get many kills. Bit of a questionable usage to wait that long and then to use it at that point, but okay. Beautiful leap there from the Warlock. How many gems we got? We got one for life, none for kicking yet. AC is now in, so this is now a bad fight. Yeah. Kicking knows it. Doesn't want to fight the AC ticks, that's for sure. Don't want to fight them anyway with the Banshees, even when there isn't CS and CSM support. And the AC ticks there actually managed to get a nice little swing with that chainsword onto the Chaos Sorcerer. In fact, is it even a chainsword the Sprite Champion has? It's not even a chain. Is it a chainsword? Yeah, that's a chainsword. Yeah, it is a chainsword. No worries. Okay. He's got a chainsword. Guardian's been little shits over here. Took the natural wreck, decapped the natural VP. And not a whole lot else happening. Rangers are on the field. Rangers changed in the most recent patch. No longer start off with a long rifle. You got to upgrade to that shit, and I think the fire rate's been changed as well. Not completely certain, but I guess we'll find out soon on that. Casting the new raid players probably in 2 weeks or so. Just trying to get through some of the backlog of old raid players. Definitely can't do them all, but yeah. Don't want to switch too early to the new patch anyway, because people have got to get, you know, they've got to put the playtime in and actually get the good replays. Otherwise, I'll just end up casting a load of shite. If I'm demanding 10 replays within the first week of release and all that kind of stuff. So, what's going to happen now. We've got the teleporting sorcerer. Ooh, and the flaming sword is on the way as well. Very classic build for the sorcerer here. Very problematic for the Eldar since they're generally somewhat fragile. I mean, certainly Rangers, Guardians, very fragile. So they don't like that damage over time. Especially in retreat. Can kill a lot. But right now, yes, Life is a little bit outnumbered, needs to get another unit on the field. Good timing there on his CSM retreat, prior to actually losing a CSM to those Ranger long rifles. Raptors will be the choice, and it makes sense when you're going for the Flame Sword Sorcerer, because there is, of course, a natural synergy there. You can drop that coruscating flame buff on the Raptors, and then jump them in. The enemy gets suppressed, and then they can't run away from you, so they're taking the constant damage over time in the AoE around the Raptors from the coruscating flame. Nade spike. Detected it. Moved back, dodged, wasted the grenade, but now we have a problem for these heretics. You have Guardians in the retreat path. Life is aware. Tries to move his heretics away. Should be able to retreat safely now. Should be fine. He's taking too long. What is he doing? Oof. Big Doom Bolts coming in. Guardians getting really low. They get out of there with one model. Oh my god, Aspiring Champion Heretics get wiped by the Banshees. Warlock was in that fight as well. The Warlock has the Merciless Witchblade. That is quite telling. Unfortunately, because he's died, I've lost the icon for him. Yeah, he's in there with the Champion's Robe and the Merciless Witchblade, so he's now a fully fledged, powerful, tanky melee hero. He's certainly a big threat for Chaos. And he's a really good counter to the Raptor Chaos Sorcerer build with this build, because, of course, he just does a lot of melee damage, but also he drains energy with each attack, so he can drain the Sorcerer so they can't jump away. And same with the Raptors, you know, the Raptors, especially once they start getting levels, they get enough energy to start doing double jumps. Well, Merciless Witchblade Warlock says, nope, you're not jumping away. Fight me. You don't want to be fighting him, the Banshees, together. And that's what happened there for those poor Aspiring Champion Heretics, and that is why they're now dead. So, Life is actually going to replace those Heretics. He doesn't have any Aspiring Champions right now, so he's very vulnerable. Definitely has the weaker army right now. He probably needs to be using the mobility of the Raptors and the Sorcerer to his advantage. Try and capture the ranged units when they're capping on their own. Like right now, you wait for the blob, the melee in particular, the Warlock and the Banshees to move away, then Raptors come in and start bleeding the models. That is what you should be doing right now. He needs to be super careful not to bleed too many heretics as well. So we got one Aspiring Champion coming on the way. I think that's fine. I don't think he needs two right now. One heretic should basically just be on capping duties or worship duties anyway. Not that worship for the Sorcerer does particularly much. Doombolt's coming in, doing some good damage there. About half the HP of the Guardian's gone. Not bad. The Sorcerer's going to pick a fight with the Warlock. That's interesting. Warlock's still got his shield. He activates it now. That Sorcerer is not going to win this fight. Really not sure he wants this fight. Yeah, he teleports out. Man, if he got hit another time, he wouldn't have even had the energy for a teleport. Will consume with a tick there, get the energy back, gets a little bit of HP. Now the Warlock's getting quite outnumbered. Raptors, we really need to see Coruscating Flame. Oh god, the fucking special attack there from the Warlock was brutal. Rangers kill a Raptor as well. Warlock is putting in such work here. Warlock gonna retreat out. Yeah, beautiful grenade, kills another heretic. Just so much chaos shit right now. I'm really quite shocked that Life isn't using the Coruscating Flame. I think that is a big mistake. In that fight right there, those heretics should have had the Coruscating Flame the entire time. That would have been... it would have been okay. I just realised he was only fighting the Warlock anyway, but, you know. Coruscating Flame, drop it on the Raptors could have jumped that ranged blob, they would have done a lot of damage. I think he is underutilising that ability. But certainly the Chaos player is bleeding a lot more here. However, I assume he has a lower upkeep build. Well, he doesn't actually. But I don't know, I guess he's just winning on map control. because he's ahead in tech and he's got the Blood Crusher, despite of losing his ticks and having to replace them. So he's bought, yeah, he lost the AC ticks and he replaced the AC on this squad, so kind of crazy, honestly, that he is so far ahead in tech. I don't know what happened to the gen timers. Maybe Kicking was a little bit late on the gen timers. To be fair, this pairing of Wargears is actually more expensive that Kicking has got than this pairing, but not that much more expensive. So we see that Kicking's got his Exarch queued up. Okay. Fire Dragons on the way. Fire Dragons are such a good counter to Blood Crushers, it's insane. Fire Dragon, and then you've got heavy melee on the Exarch because he's aspect of strength. Blood Crusher doesn't have melee resist. This is not going to be easy for the Blood Crusher to put in work. Still, Fire Dragons are a ranged unit. You've got Blood Crusher to tie them with melee, Raptors and Sorcerer, so it's possible. All depends on how well Life can use his worship here. And honestly, at some point, probably going to want to swap to the Robes of Torment. Maybe, actually. I guess the Fire Dragons, maybe not. The Tzeentch Chaos Space Marines are actually a decent option here because Fire Dragons are heavy infantry, in spite of what it says here. They're heavy infantry, not normal infantry, so Tzeentch Chaos Space Marines can actually do some pretty good damage to them. A bit of posturing here. No one really wants to commit fully to the fight. Waiting for that Dragon Scale armor upgrade on the Fire Dragons. We've got a Chaos Dreadnought coming down the way. That's really interesting. Now that actually compositionally will do quite well. I think just having the extra range damage to take down the Fire Dragons will be huge. So here we go. Raptors and the Blood Crushers joint initiate, and unfortunately for Kicking, Banshees were out of position here, so not able to counter-initiate the Raptors. Now everything's just going to get rolled over. I think Coruscating Flame, no, it hasn't been used again. I don't know why he's not using that ability. Just drop Coruscating Flame on the Raptors. It'll help them a lot, and it's not exactly expensive on energy. You might as well. More Doom Bolts going in. More damage there on the Banshees. A lot of pressure on the Sorcerer there, but a nice little teleport to teleport away before the Autarch can knock over the Sorcerer. So Kicking just went for that Autarch, and that's fine. You know, she's got nice buffs. She does the heal damage buff when she jumps. Any troops that she lands near get healed and get a damage buff. And then she passively increases the ranged damage resistance of all nearby troops. That's nice. The problem is that she doesn't really do any proper AV. I mean, you can give her the fusion gun, which is a melter gun. It's okay AV. Honestly, probably going to have to do it right now because these vehicular threats from Life are a serious, serious problem that he needs to deal with. Good awareness from Life here. You see him dodge that grenade with his Raptors, even though he's got Sorcerer moving around down here. Where's he gone? There he is. Nearly gets killed by the Rangers. But you can see, good awareness. You know, he's moving around these troops in the middle. He's moving troops over here. He's moving the Sorcerer. He's keeping an eye on his minimap, clearly.
Chaos Legions march from the Eye of Terror.
Let's see how this engagement goes. Not much happening yet. Rangers going to go in for that decap, but they will reveal themselves when they stop decapping, and that could be a problem with the Dreadnought right here. Dreadnought backing off though. Didn't expect the Bright Lance, so this is some heavy AV now on the field for Kicking. You got Bright Lance, you got a Fire Dragon, you got the heavy melee Banshee. No fusion gun or attack. I genuinely would get the fusion gun and then swap out of it later once I've killed these two vehicles. Once these vehicles go down, Life's army is fucked. It's totally reliant on them right now. Rangers got to be careful. Oh my god. Like a second more of shooting from the autocannon there would have wiped them. CSM, no upgrades yet, so they're not doing too much, but yeah, they still beat Guardians. No upgrade for the Guardians either. Okay, these ones have got their Warlock. These poor guys, just side-capping. I don't know why the CSM just retreated. What? Why did they retreat? They would win that firefight. Perhaps just scared of the potential flank, but fuck wasn't happening? That was very weird. Hey, there you go, fusion gun. Yeah. How much DPS is this? 29 DPS, Melter. We'll see how it does. She is inspiring every time she kills models, so that's nice. Easy for her to shoot down the models with the fusion gun on the heretics, but kind of just threw his troops really close to the melee blob there, and I felt like I don't really know why the fire dragons were that far forward. It looks like they just got tied up and forced off by all the chaos melee there. Not great. I don't really know how that happened. Did the okay, well, it seems the Blood Crusher went down, so that's something, you know. This is what you do. You just, even if you lose the fights, it doesn't matter if you're wiping units. You know, you're shrinking the enemy army size so that the next time you have an army versus army fight, it's going to go more in your favor. Weber Gate comes up. I don't know if the units are inside it. They are. Okay, this is a bad situation for the Sorcerer. Knocked over by a Banshee special and going to be taken out by the Banshees. No! Oh my god, teleports away just in the nick of time. One more swing from a Banshee Power Sword would have killed that Sorcerer. Dark Flames is getting dropped down, delays the cap on the VP, and these Banshees need to get out. Oh my god, what are they doing? Heretics in retreat path. Do some decent damage to them. That's a lot of ranged DPS coming in there from the CSM and the Autocannon Dreadnought. The Banshees do make it out. Raptors probably, honestly, could have jumped like here, turned around and tried to finish them off. A little bit sloppy there from Life, but sloppy and kicking in the first place for keeping them in for so long. I suspect he's probably looking down here at things that were going on, and in fact, he wiped out one of the heretics down here because Life was focusing on the other engagement. So there you go. That actually went in Kicking's favour. He was a little bit slow to react to his Banshees there, but his Banshees lived. Whereas Life was too slow to react to his Heretics, and his Heretics died. So Life losing the Heretics, losing the Blood Crusher. Now looking a little bit thin on the ground. Still, he has most of his elite units. You know, this Dreadnought's still kicking about. We've got the Raptors, the Bloodletters. CSM are now getting levels, level 2. This is part of the problem. Okay, well, I was going to say, there's not really a whole lot to deal with these Raptors when they jump in, and then friggin' Autak comes out, and Banshees, and Warlock. Yeah, Raptors need to run. But Kicking kinda needs to blob up. Still, if he can blob up, take out the Dreadnought, I think he's in a really good spot. He does have enough resources for tier 3, but if you guys know anything about Eldar, their strength is generally not in tier 3, so the fact that he is now behind in tech, Kicking that is the Eldar, and Life is about to hit tier 3 as a Chaos player is a little bit concerning for Kicking. He needs to hurry up and get some work done, because the Chaos tier 3 is definitely a lot better than the tier 3 of the Eldar. Really nice push there though. Melters great against Altar. Oh, this is a brutal push, wow. So that's another Heretic squad gone, so that's now repair support gone if he wants to go for a Predator. He's going to have to replace those ticks. Nice special attack there coming out from the Warlock. He can stay in, hurt these Raptors. Oh, they used Demonic Fury, but he's got his shield up, so he's immune to the knockback. Not great. Might even be able to take out the Aspirant Champion here. This is getting into a little bit of a risky fight. All they need to do, the Raptors, is proc 1 special there, and the Warlock might get wiped. Oh! The nade spike! And the Sorcerer runs forward into it. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh, not good for Life. A series of misplays there. Wow. And Kicking's army is looking thick right now. No substantial losses for Kicking yet. Kicking, however, is kicking himself in the teeth right now because he is floating like crazy. He could already be tier 3 at this point, but he's floating like mad. Really needs to get to tier 3. If he could get tier 3 and get some Seers out now, oh my god, this game would be over. Don't know what Life would do then. Yeah, Life probably saving up for a super unit, because he's waited so long at this point, he might as well. I mean, you know, he could get a Predator tank out right now, but what's he gonna do? He doesn't have any repair support for it, so... Besides, Kicking has an ungodly amount of AV right now. With a Bright Lance, the Fusion, Autak, Fire Dragons, and Banshees, I would not get a Predator. I'd say, fuck it, I need a Grain and Clean one right now. But even then, the Grin and Clean one's kind of mediocre, because he gets his energy drained by the Warlock, which sucks, because the Grin and Clean one really relies on his abilities, which are all awesome. The Fire Dragons and the Auto-Attack buff do melter damage, which does bonus to the super heavy infantry of the Grin and Clean one. And then the Banshees don't do... Well, the Banshees actually do shitloads of damage to the Guo. It's just the Guo also does shitloads of damage to them. But still, like, the tools are already on the field to deal with the Grey and Clean one, and then you've got the Land Raider Phobos, but you don't really want to go for a super heavy tank against Eldar. Again, there's already AV on the field, but super heavy tank, if Kicking gets tier 3 and he drops an Eldritch on that thing, it's going to lose like 2/3 of its HP just from that nuke, and be immobilized. So, this is a really hard spot for Life. He doesn't really... Like, Terminators aren't an obvious choice here either. Lightning Claw Terminators would be good, but they still take damage from the Banshees, and they also take damage from the Melter weaponry right now. That's like the big problem, all the Melter guns. The Eldar Melter is really hard for Life to deal with right now. I mean, I've literally listed all of the Chaos Tier 3 options after saying Chaos Tier 3 is better, and it's tough. I mean, Kicking's economy is mental. I don't know what he's doing. What is this flow? Oh my god, I've not seen anything like this in a long time. 1000 requisition, 400 power. Kicking, you've only got 66 pop, mate. Get some bloody troops out. Shit, he could just spam Wraith Lords at this point. That'd be fine. I'll deal with Terminators pretty well. Yeah, here we go, Wraith Lords. Well, one Wraith Lord so far. I mean, he could literally get like 3, so let's see what he does. Chaos Sorcerer not really finding himself very relevant right now, it appears. I mean, there's nothing he can do against the Warlock. He could probably jump in and start killing these Fire Dragons, to be honest. So yeah, we've got Terminators as the choice for Life. I mean, they will trade okay with the Fire Dragons, but they actually don't trade like... They don't trade amazing. They beat the Fire Dragons, but not that well. Because Fire Dragons are heavy infantry, so the bolters really don't do that much damage to them. If the Wraith Lord can tie up the Terminators at melee, the Terminators are going to have a really tough time. Of course, Banshees will rip the Terminators to pieces in melee as well. I don't know if the Banshees will beat the 1v1. I'd imagine they don't. Certainly not if they get shot on approach, but they'll come pretty close. So this is just tricky, man. I don't know what Life can do, to be honest. He's now going for a Plague Marine because he needs AV to deal with the Wraith Lord. I mean, if I'm Kicking, I'm just spamming fucking Wraith Lord. Get another one, man! You know? Then he needs more Plague Marines, right? One Wraith Lord can tie up the Terminators, one Wraith Lord can tie up the Plague Marines. Happy days. But Kicking needs to be focusing on the VPs as well. Like, these Rangers should just be fleeing over and capping the VP whilst these units are stalling. Because he is a little bit behind on the VP front right now. And he should be going tier 3. I mean, why not? He's not... If you're not building anything else, you might as well just go tier 3. I think Seer Council would be fantastic right now. Can you imagine all the disruption with a knockback when they leap into combat? Imagine how quick they rip to pieces these Terminators. Be able to control the Plague Marines. And the other thing is, there's a lot of ranged here, right? Seer Council, they have another passive that gives ranged damage resistance to nearby troops, so... Oh, Attack's gonna go down, that's sad. Attack did pretty well with that fusion gun. It's nice to see, you don't see it too often. It's a shame. Her buffs are always useful. In fact, technically, you know, they can just get stronger and stronger as the game goes on because your army gets bigger and bigger. The AoE buffs.
You are losing us a victory point.
Let's get more Fire Dragons. I don't really know how I feel about that. I do just spam Wraith Lords if I'm honest with you. Because Wraith Lords don't bleed, Fire Dragons do. That's the problem. So if you get really bad engagements with the Fire Dragons, you could end up running out of all your resources because they bleed so much. He can just throw in his Warlock away there. I don't really know what he's even looking at. Something over here, probably. I feel like Kickin's micro is now falling apart, and this is probably where Life can drag out the game for a good while. I suppose now, if Life can get a great and clean one out, he would be in a pretty good spot because he's got enough support. You know, the Fire Dragons probably won't have a lot of free reign. They're going to get shot by CSM, going to get shot by Autocannon Terminators. Probably would get the Mark of Zinch if he hasn't already. No, he's just running around naked. I'd get the Mark of Zinch for the CSM, fuck it. Fighting double Fire Dragons, you might as well. Don't know if he's realised there's two yet, he must do now. Having a Guo to just stomp away those Banshees, do some big damage over time would be great. Alternatively, he could just get the Subjugation Tome on the Sorcerer. I don't know why he's not doing that either. Life has a lot of resources. He's going to lose his Terminators. Yikes! Loses his Terminators to the Banshees. Wraithlord in the middle here, not actually advancing into melee. The Wraithlord should be tying up the Plague Marines. Another Autark called down by Kickin. Banshees overstaying their welcome in the base, getting suppressed by the base turrets, lose every single model but the Exarch. And Fire Dragons move back up. Where's the other Fire Dragon squad? Are we just down to one again? Where is everything? It's pretty terrible that the UI doesn't show more than this, I'm not gonna lie. Did we lose a Fire Dragon? Oh, I'm so confused. Or are they in the webway? It's impossible to know, unfortunately. Okay, Bloodletter's moving in once again. What's this capping attack? Okay. A lot of really debilitated Eldar units here. But, man, this is tricky. Why is Life getting a Dreadnought? No, man. Really? A Dreadnought? At this stage of the game? Dude, you got a Dreadnought out like fucking 15 minutes ago. Why would you think a Dreadnought's gonna work now? If it was a good choice, surely you'd have the Dreadnought still around from 15 minutes ago, no? I don't get that. It doesn't make sense. Just save up for a Guo. He wasn't that far from a Guo, and he's still got 160... No, he hasn't. He's got more VPs than Kickin. He had loads of time. Oh, I would totally have gone for a Guo, not a Dreadnought. Oh well. We'll see what it can do. I mean, the problem is the Dreadnought just loses 1v1 to a Wraithlord anyway, so... Not great. And the Wraithlord already has the Bright Lance upgrade, so... It's not like you're even forcing him to buy that. I don't like this Dreadnought at all. I don't like this choice. Not a fan of this choice.
It is yours.
So Kickin setting up a nice defensive position in the middle here. Notice that he isn't actually reinforcing his Guardians. Let's have a look at his pop. He's still miles off pop cap, so he could be, but I guess he doesn't feel like the Guardians are contributing that much to combat. I think they actually are doing pretty damn good, but to be fair, if you look at his economy, he is floating crazy power and is actually kind of suffering in the wreck department. I don't know what the Wraithlord's doing in ranged combat. Get into melee, dude. Beautiful, beautiful pair of grenades there from the Guardians. Autark the whole time, just tying up the Plague Marines. Okay, Demonic Summoning. Not a very good use of that global, to be honest, to use it at the end of the fight. You should be using it at the start of the fight so you can keep reinforcing. Kickin mismicroing his Fire Dragons here, moving them far too forward. Has he only got one? I thought he could... Well, he definitely did get two. He must have lost the other one at some point. Banshees are being a fucking pain, man, for life. Are they level 4 or... Yeah, they are. Oh my god. Such a pain. Something needs to be tying up the Plague Marines, however, and it doesn't pay the Banshees out. They're too busy focusing on Raptors right now, but Plague Marines are actually DPSing down that Wraith Lord, which I think that Wraith Lord has been in range stance trying to kill the Dreadnought way too much. Just ignore the Dreadnought for now. Force off the Plague Marines, and then you can just tie up the Dreadnought in melee, and jobs are good. Warlock doing a pretty good job tanking here. He's got the full tanky upgrades. Does eventually get forced off by the Chaos Ranged. And we just got a little game for map control going on right now. Raptors get the decap down there, or attack is going to force them off, probably finish the cap. Guardian's running in and out of the web gates. Life needs to make sure he is controlling these webway gates, but Fire Dragons and Banshees hopping out there, going to scare off the Bloodletters for a bit. They phase out. Now there's some reinforcements coming. Probably going to be able to take out the webway. Yeah, there you go. The Dreadnought is actually putting in some good work. You know, the other problem that Life has, unfortunately, is the reliance on Heretics for repairs, of which he has none. So he can't actually repair his Dreadnought right now, which is a bit sad for him. Yeah, so here you go. We've got some Heretics en route. They're going to be, obviously, on the repair duty for this Dreadnought. Finally, Kickin manages to get tier 3, and it looks like he actually has the red for an Eldritch, which honestly, probably will see this game out right now. I mean, this right now, here, would be a fucking beautiful spot for an Eldritch. He did just get tier 3. Don't really know what the Banshees are doing right now. Wraithlord moves into the Raptors. A decent pair of grenades here. Wraithlord again is in range stance. Just melee, my guy, just melee. He's going to take out the Dreadnought. The Fire Dragons are here. Wraithlord's got its Bright Lance. Yep, Dreadnought falls. Sorcerer is doing a good job moving to put pressure onto the natural VP. Autarch, on the other hand, the mobile units of both factions moving to take the natural VP of Life, but the CSM is still in the field. Honestly, Banshees should be able to take them on right now. We actually see Distort field drop there. I like that global usage, giving them really high damage range, damage resistance to range, I think 50%. So they can take as little damage as possible whilst moving into combat with the CSM and then beat them up in melee. But of course now, the Raptors intervening, they need to get out of there, but they did their job, right? They got rid of the CSM so they couldn't shoot the Autarch to death while she was capturing that point. The Fire Dragons of Rangers have moved back to the natural, they've caught that for Kickin. And Kickin now has an Avatar of Cain on the way. I think Kickin has got this game. Probably. But the VPs are very low. The Avatar of Cain might not even come out onto the field. Still, the VPs right now heavily in favour of Kickin. Only under 100 VPs left for Life right now. Raptors and Plague Marines though. Fantastic tier 2 AV combo. Nearly killing the Wraithlord. Not quite. Cheeky little grenade there coming in from the Warlock, leader of the Guardian squad, going to kill a CSM, force them off. The Plague Marines will take over the cap. And basically Kickin is doing an amazing job right now, just stalling for as long as possible. The Warlock being a pain in the ass, flipping units around. What's going on over here? Oh, that was an attempted webway gate by Kickin, but it was actually spotted by Life. Takes it out with the Bloodletters and now gets onto the cap. So Plague Marines do manage to capture the contested VP in the mid. It is currently a 2-to-1 cap for Kickin, who has his Avatar about 80% built. And honestly, well, Life has nothing to do with an Avatar. So I think when that thing gets out, it should be an easy enough win for Kickin. Just send the Avatar to the middle, and then keep something to defend this VP. Probably the Wraithlord. Wraithlord and the natural VP, Avatar in the mid, should be a nice win. Just ride out that 2-to-1 cap for the remaining 50 VPs of Life, and he should be good, one would think. He's also got the Eldritch Storm still in the bank as well, so should be fine. Wow, look at the damage from the Doom Bolts. Doom Bolts, of course, doing plasma damage, I believe. They do plasma, right? So, get a nice bonus against the Fire Dragons. Cool to see a little bit of late game war gear switching here. Channeling Runes coming out, keeping those Rock 4 Banshees nice and healthy. And oh, that poor Heretic running away, shooting that shitty auto pistol. Saw those Banshees moving in, was like, yeah, I'm gonna retreat. Yeah, you're gonna die. And honestly, looks like the Avatar's not even needed right now.
Behold and despair.
He's gonna go deal with the CSM taking the natural VP. Autak once again probably wants to move over to Life's natural VP right now. You know Chaos is screwed when they have to resort to just spamming Plague Marines to try and capture the points. Avatar slays a Chaos Space Marine. Gonna probably rotate to the mid. Unfortunately, the Avatar can't cap though. Oh, look at that beautiful sync kill. Gotta feel good if you're not a fan of Chaos, that. Kinda sad how he just sort of drops him on the floor, super close to the ground. Kinda ruins that animation, but sure. I mean, you gotta give it to Life, he's really trying here. Yeah, this is rough. Yeah, he realizes he can't kill the Avatar, there's no way. He just doesn't have the stopping power, too many wiped units. So, nice little comeback there for him kicking. Absolutely gigantic float from him. Just floating for ages, and honestly, kind of surprised in that big engagement that we had where I called out the spot to use the Eldritch. I'm kind of surprised we didn't see the Eldritch. You could have used the Banshee Washout, because there were like 3 units, I think Bloodletters, Ticks, and Raptors chasing the Banshees. Banshee Washout. We'll drop the Eldritch, then Washout, then move away. Drop the Eldritch slightly in retreat. Oh, that would have been just the end of the game right there. But, yeah, no worries, he won it anyway. Good little comeback. My nose is fucked. Sorry about that, folks. The commentary not be the best, and probably a lot of annoying sounds. But hey, Nurgle blesses even Slaneshi folk, I guess. Thank you for tuning in, folks. Hopefully, come next week, things won't be so awkward, and please do check out that tournament. I think it's going to be good fun. I will be posting my POV for that tournament. I think I might be doing like a wider series looking into like the macro and the matchups for Grey Knights in 1v1. But if I decide to do that, I will tell you guys at a later date. Thank you for tuning in, folks. Torpid signing out.